Once upon a time, in a cozy little town nestled between rolling green hills and a sparkling blue river, there lived a curious 8-year-old girl named Amelia. Amelia had wild, curly hair that bounced when she walked and bright brown eyes that seemed to hold 1,000 questions. She loved two things more than anything in the world: asking why and imagining what if. She imagined what clouds tasted like. She imagined what ants talked about. She imagined that the old oak tree in her backyard might secretly be a doorway to somewhere magical. And as it turned out, she was right. One warm summer evening, just as the sky was painted in pink and orange, Amelia sat beneath the great oak tree at the back of her garden. Its branches stretched wide like protective arms, and its trunk was so thick that 3 grown-ups holding hands could barely wrap around it. Amelia pressed her ear against the bark. "I wish I could go on a real adventure," she whispered. The leaves rustled. At first, Amelia thought it was only the wind, but then she heard something else. A soft, friendly voice. "Adventure begins with curiosity." Amelia jumped back. "Who said that?" "I did," said the tree. Amelia blinked. The oak tree had 2 knots in its trunk that looked like eyes, and a curved ridge that formed a smile. "You can talk," she gasped. "Of course," said the oak, "but only to those who listen." Amelia grinned. She loved listening. "I want to discover something new," she said eagerly. "Then step forward," the oak replied. "But remember, kindness and imagination are the greatest tools you can carry." The bark shimmered like golden light on water, and suddenly a small wooden door appeared in the trunk. Amelia took a deep breath and stepped inside. Amelia tumbled gently onto soft grass. She stood up and looked around. She was in a wide meadow filled with glowing flowers and floating lanterns. The sky was lavender, and tiny sparkles drifted through the air like sleepy fireflies. "This is amazing," she whispered. A small creature with fluffy blue fur and enormous ears peeked out from behind a rock. "Hello," it squeaked. "Hello," Amelia replied cheerfully. The creature approached cautiously. "I'm Pip. I think I'm lost." Amelia knelt down. "I'm Amelia. I might be lost too." Pip's ears drooped. "I was collecting shineberries for my grandmother, but I wandered too far." Amelia could see tears forming in Pip's shiny eyes. Now, Amelia had always dreamed of racing through magical lands and discovering treasure. Helping someone find berries wasn't exactly what she had imagined. But she remembered what the oak had said. Kindness is the greatest tool you can carry. "Well," Amelia said brightly, "let's find the shineberries together." Pip's ears perked up. "Really?" "Of course." They searched through the meadow, lifting leaves, peeking behind glowing mushrooms, and asking friendly beetles if they had seen bright silver berries. As they walked, Amelia asked Pip questions about his home. Pip told her about crystal caves that sang when you touched them, and about sky whales that drifted above the mountains. Amelia's imagination soared. Finally, near a sparkling stream, they found a bush glittering with silver fruit. "Shineberries," Pip squealed. He gathered them carefully into his tiny basket. "Thank you, Amelia," he said. "You could have gone exploring on your own." Amelia smiled. "It's more fun discovering things together." And she meant it. As Pip scampered off toward the distant hills, a golden path shimmered into view before Amelia. She followed it. The golden path led Amelia into a forest where the trees were tall and pale. and their leaves shimmered like mirrors. When Amelia thought, "This place is strange," the trees whispered back, "Strange, strange." When she thought, "I hope I'm brave," they echoed, "Brave, brave." Amelia realized something incredible. The forest was echoing her thoughts. She began to notice that when she thought nervous thoughts, the forest felt darker. When she thought kind thoughts, the leaves glowed warmly. Suddenly, she heard a grumpy voice. "Go away." Behind a silvery bush sat a girl about Amelia's age. She had messy braids and crossed arms. "My name's Zara," the girl muttered, "and I don't need help." Amelia sat down anyway, but not too close. "Okay," she said gently. Zara frowned. "Aren't you going to ask what's wrong?" "You can tell me if you want," Amelia said. The trees shimmered softly. After a long pause, Zara whispered, "I tried to build a bridge across the creek, but it fell apart. I'm not good at inventing things." The trees echoed faintly, "Not good, not good." Amelia quickly thought, everyone can learn new things. The trees glowed brighter. "I've built things that fell apart too," Amelia admitted. "Once I tried to make a kite out of newspaper and spaghetti." Zara blinked. "Spaghetti?" "It did not fly." Zara giggled. "Maybe," Amelia continued, "we can figure it out together." They gathered fallen branches and flexible vines. Amelia imagined how the pieces could fit like puzzle parts. Zara tested the strength of each stick. When the bridge wobbled, they adjusted it. When it leaned, they supported it. And finally, they stepped back. A sturdy little bridge stretched across the creek. Zara's eyes shone. "We did it!" The forest whispered, "Did it? Did it?" Amelia felt warm inside. Discovering new places was wonderful, but discovering that someone else could believe in themselves, that was even better. As Zara crossed her new bridge, the golden path appeared once more. This time, the path led Amelia to a tall mountain covered in tiny, colourful doors. Red doors, blue doors, polka-dotted doors, shimmering doors that changed colours. A sign read, "Behind every door is something new." Amelia's heart raced with excitement. She opened a green door. Inside was a room filled with musical instruments she had never seen before. Drums shaped like raindrops, harps made of light. She tapped one gently, and it made the sound of laughter. She opened a purple door. Inside was a library where books floated in the air. When she opened one, it showed stories of distant deserts, deep oceans, and faraway stars. She opened a tiny yellow door. Inside was a classroom. A wise old turtle wearing spectacles sat at a desk. "Welcome," said the turtle. "I am Professor Atlas." Amelia stepped in. "What is this place?" she asked. "This," said Professor Atlas, "is the room of becoming." "Becoming what?" "Whatever you are curious enough to try." He gestured to the mountain outside. "Many choose only one door and stay there. But the bravest explorers understand that learning never ends." Amelia thought about Pip, about Zara, about the glowing forest. "Is discovering new things just about seeing new places?" she asked. Professor Atlas smiled slowly. "No, Amelia. Discovery is also about discovering kindness inside yourself, discovering courage, discovering how big your imagination truly is." Amelia felt her heart swell. "So I can keep learning forever?" "As long as you remain curious." He handed her a small golden key. for the next door you open in your own world. The golden path shimmered one final time. Amelia stepped forward and tumbled gently back into her own backyard under the whispering oak. The small wooden door in the trunk faded away. In her hand was the golden key. The oak spoke softly. "What did you discover?" Amelia thought carefully. "I discovered that helping others can be the best adventure." The leaves rustled approvingly. "I discovered that imagination makes ordinary things magical." The branches swayed. "And I discovered that there's always something new to learn." The oak's bark glowed warmly. "Then you have travelled well." The next morning, Amelia woke up feeling different. Not because she had gone to a magical meadow, not because she had crossed an enchanted forest, but because she saw her world differently. She helped her neighbour carry groceries, imagining she was a knight delivering treasure. She tried building a birdhouse, even though she wasn't sure she'd get it right the first time. She invited a shy new student at school to sit with her. And every time she chose kindness, every time she used her imagination, every time she tried something new, the golden key in her pocket felt warm. Years later, Amelia would travel to real mountains and forests and cities filled with wonders. But she would always remember, adventure doesn't only begin in magical lands. It begins the moment you choose to be kind. It grows when you imagine, and it never ends as long as you keep discovering. And so, beneath the watchful branches of the whispering oak, in a small town between rolling hills and a sparkling blue river, Amelia's greatest adventure had only just begun. And tonight, as the stars twinkle above you, perhaps there is a door waiting in your world too. All you have to do is listen.